everyone. I am Jazmine Renae, a speaker and women's life coach. I help women regain their power so that they can embrace individuality while living with intention. I'm so certain about who I am as an individual woman and my purpose in life that nobody, not anyone, can knock me off of my path. It took me a long time to get where I am. And as a matter of fact, it was recently, maybe 3 to 4 years ago. In the end, I realized that I was doing myself a major disservice by conforming to social norms and suppressing who I really was inside. And that's what we'll discuss today. So as a young woman at the age of 14 and 15, I remember how much popularity and conformity meant to me and who I considered my friends in high school. If I wanted to maintain my status amongst my friend group, I had to dress a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. And for a long time, I was okay with that. I, of course, was a young-minded and individual and didn't think much past life, past high school. My conformity regularly got me in trouble with my mother. And as all of our mothers were, they were young ones. And she's familiar with the distractions that a young woman can have. She and the village it took to raise me exhausted every single effort to make sure I made something of myself. At the age of 16, my mother was able to get me a car. I had a 2008 white Suzuki Ariel. It was cute and fast, and back when gas was like $1, more than $1. I was running up and down the road all the time with my friends, driving everywhere. Me and my friends were flying down Two Notch Road and Hardscrabble Road, two roads that anybody in Columbia, South Carolina will see everybody in Columbia, South Carolina. My mother later told me that it was her friends, my village, her gym partners, co-workers, our neighbors, my friends' friends, her friends, everybody. They told her that, hey, I just seen Jazzy flying down Two Notch Road with a bunch of people in the back. If she would have told me at that time at 15 years old and a young-minded Jazmine, I would have been furious and wondered why folks always in my business. But now I just laugh. I will forever be grateful for my village. And they never gave up on me. That trouble I got into and the popularity I was so determined to maintain got me sent to the U.S. Army. My parents didn't think I was mature and responsible enough to go to college. I really couldn't blame them. We had visited the University of South Carolina, Hampton University in Virginia, and numerous smaller colleges in and around South Carolina. All colleges that were somewhat prestigious in their own way and were not inexpensive institutions. Neither of my parents saw the point of making such a large investment when I had demonstrated that I was not focused at all. I remember feeling so bad, so bad about how I had disappointed my parents and how I was missing an opportunity to experience college after high school with my peers. But after all, I wasn't looking to gain more knowledge on a specific subject or a specific concentration. I was looking for the experience, right? Not focused. So I joined the U.S. Army at the age of 17. My parents had to sign for me. I couldn't do it because I was not yet 18. What an experience, the yelling, the screaming, the long days full of intense training and challenges that I thought I would never, ever be able to conquer, right? Being told what to do all day long, when to wake up, when to eat, when to use the restroom. It was a lot to adapt to. Joining the Army forced me to separate from those friends, those distractions, those boys back at home. I remember always wondering what they were doing and if they had thought of me. And what speaks to that is that I rarely got many letters from them. So it explains it. When I joined the military in 2010, it was the first time that I was amongst so many different people of various backgrounds. I was one of 3 or 4 Black girls amongst a sea of majority white people. I did not feel a pressure to be popular or fit in amongst the other female trainees. No, we were just trying to survive, so we didn't have to be recycled. We were just trying to make it out of there, okay? We cried, laughed, sang together. It was there that I recognized the importance of community from my own perspective. Training was a major point of growth for me, but it came to an end, thankfully, right? Because it was really, really brutal. It was when I got my freedom back and immersed myself back into the civilian world, the world out there, and I fell back into the conformity and popularity mindset. That mindset allowed me to it consumed me in high school. But there have been two very distinct love and life experiences that that have accelerated the realization of my own power. With love surfaced the consciousness of my individuality, uniqueness, and self-worth. And with life, gave clarity to my dreams of making an impact and leaving a legacy that stretches to the ends of the earth. First was when I met and married the man that I thought was the love of my life at the age of 19. I had prayed for this very man. You see, he was tall, dark, and handsome, even spoke a foreign language, and I had prayed for all of that. God sent me that. I swear to you, God sent me that. I think he was trying to teach me a lesson, because what I prayed for is what I got. What I prayed for was popular. What I prayed for was socially acceptable to my family and friends. Because I married what was my type, I became empty, felt worthless, confused, and in pain. A lot of pain, physically and emotional pain. And I was always concerned about what he was doing, so I couldn't focus on my work, on myself. I couldn't even think of starting a business. I couldn't even think of going to college. One day I just got fed up and I ended it. I just left and never went back. You'll gain the strength to do that one day too, sis. I promise you. But my second and final husband, I almost let get away. When he tried to pursue me, I constantly pushed him away. He was one of the most persistent men I had ever come in contact with in my adult life. He wasn't pushy, he didn't rush me. He knew I was going through a divorce and that I was a wreck. He knew I had to turn to unhealthy ways of coping, and he coached me through that. He was patient. The more and more time we spent together, my self-esteem improved and grew. And I remember saying to myself, hold up, I feel like a queen right now. I feel worth it. This is uncomfortable. I don't want this. I can't do this. And although I felt so good, so special, so supported, I didn't feel like I could marry him, because still in my mind, I was in the wrong place. This man wasn't my type, right? He was white. He was the same height as me. He wasn't cultured enough. What would my 90-year-old Black grandmother from the South say about this? Hell, what would society say about it? Our love wasn't popular. But I thank God that every day, I thank God that I ignored what anyone else would have to say about my marriage. I thank God that I prioritized my own happiness, because there's no way that I would be as certain of myself as I am almost 8 years later. Second was when I earned the opportunity to go to college. I had spent 6 or so years in the military and competed and earned a scholarship to pay my full ride. I had to pay nothing out of pocket. I earned that. I spent hours trying to determine what I was going to study. And originally I had made a decision based on my love for Grey's Anatomy and the successful career I had watched my mother have throughout her life. I thought I'll study nursing. And the good Lord knows that I had no interest in that. I didn't have a love for medicine or science. I had a mindset change that provided me with a little clarity on what my impact was going to be in this world. I was always asking my family about where we came from, and they never really could tell me anything past my grandmother, my only living grandmother. That's when I determined that I would study history with a concentration on Black American history. And oh my goodness, making the decision to study Black people and become a historian was and is one of the most fulfilling things I have ever done. I've learned so much about way beyond the notable, the great, Dr. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. There's so many other people that we got to know. By those two prominent moments in my life, I have been propelled to really understand my value and my worth. As a result, that realization gave me freedom to receive and embrace the legacy I am meant to have on this earth. Embracing who I am and outwardly projecting my individuality has not been easy, but I try my absolute best to keep power, the acronym POWER, at the forefront of my mind. The power breakdown, pink, purpose, working intently to find it, praying for it. It will wake you up out of your sleep. Me fighting for women woke me up out of my sleep. Determining history to be my concentration in college woke me up out of my sleep. Stop ignoring the signs. Life is showing it to you. You're not confused. You're just not paying attention. I promise you it is there. Ownership. It's yours, especially as Black women. We have a history of pain, yes, but we also have a rich history of resiliency and triumph. It is in our blood to be resourceful and innovative. Remember that you are an asset to any team, any partnership, any organization. We provide a perspective that many others cannot. Be Black, be a woman, be a Black woman, then add your little flavor on top. Wellness. Wellness, yes, it's about holistic health, don't get me wrong, yes. But in this regard, when it comes to power, it is prioritizing mental strength and mental agility. This includes positive self-talk, being your own biggest cheerleader. We have to stop relying on others for our own happiness. We must find ways to be stronger thinkers. Our happiness is up to us, and I personally believe that it starts with what is in our head. That could be through continued education and networking and surrounding yourself with good people. And yes, we can pray about it, but there are also benefits to actually talking to professionals about the things we are going through. We have to eliminate the stigma in the Black community about seeking mental health. And speaking of networking, that brings me to E, environment. Since when I say environment, I'm referring to everything around you. It's your living space and where you should be at peace. It's your friends and who you surround yourself with. It's what's on your Instagram feed and your Facebook feed and your TikTok feed. The environments we are surrounded by need to encourage everything that I've previously mentioned. If they don't encourage it, enforce it, and or accelerate it, everything I just mentioned, it can't be around you, period. It cannot be around you. You have to be specific about that. And finally, art, reflection, daily. Write down the things you're grateful for. Write down your prayers and plans. Make them real, put them on paper, be as detailed as possible. I write every single night, and I don't stop until my brain is empty. I used to write a page or so, right? But then I felt myself just stopping. I still had a little bit left in my mind. Now I'm right. If it takes 2 pages to empty my brain, it takes 2 pages to empty my brain. If it takes 3 pages to empty my brain and put my plan on paper, then it takes 3 pages. I can go get another journal. I'm not saving space. I have to reflect. I have to empty my brain. No matter when you do it, make reflection a part of your routine, whether you do it at night as I do, or in the morning before you start your day. Again, power, purpose, ownership, wellness, environment, and reflection. I impeded my growth as an individual because I value popularity, social acceptance, being liked. That truly left me lonely, void, and unfulfilled. We owe ourselves the best version of ourselves. Let others be others. Find your power and embrace your individuality. Thank you.